Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today we're talking about Slavic lesbians. Today's video is a review of The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinska. This is a highly anticipated release of mine, just coming out in December. I'm not sure on the date because there's like different dates on different sites, but I was lucky enough to get a arc of this book and I am so excited. So thank you so much. All thoughts are my own and all that spiel, and let's jump into the review. So first, let's start off with a synopsis actually. So Midnight Girls follows two witches. One of them is named Zosia, one is Marinka, and there's Beata. There's like three. They're not witches, they're monsters, and they have been adopted each by a witch. So Beata is the morning witch, the light witch, the white witch. Marinka is the red witch, which is like the midday witch. And then Zosia is the black witch's monster, who's like the midnight witch. And each of the girls is called morning, midday, midnight. So the monsters or the girls are useful to witches because they go out into the world and grab hearts of princes and then bring them to the witches, and the witches eat the hearts, and that's what gives them power. Marinka, the midday monster, has been taken in by her grandmother or the witch, so she feels really indebted to the witch and really tries to earn her respect and approval, show that she's the best monster. But she has a very, very vicious rival, Zosia, Midnight, who always gets to the hearts before her, and she has this inferiority complex. And now all of the three witches are set after the same prince with a pure heart, so they travel to Warsaw and they try to get the prince's heart. So Marinka has never met Midnight or Zosia, so they meet at the beginning of the story, and it's kind of rivals to lovers, but it's like villains. They're all monstrous, dubious morals, all of that. So we have a lot of good stuff here. The reason I was so excited for this book is that it's based on it's like Polish coded, so the country is like kind of Poland, but with like some tweaks to make it high fantasy. But like Warsaw and a lot of words, Zosia, Marinka, these are Polish words, and the author, I'm assuming she's of Polish descent, but she does live in Australia. But I just think it's so cool to see a Polish author, I assume, like to an extent Polish author, write a story set in a fantastical world with fantastical elements, but they have Polish elements in it, and I'm Polish, that's why it got me so excited. So I was really, really excited to see how that was executed and whether I would like it. So I was like really hyped for this book. So as always, I'll go by elements and you can go down and check out the timestamps for anything that you're particularly interested in. So the writing, I was really impressed. It was really good. It was really easy to read, kind of really engaging, quick. It just felt like I was flying through it. Each character had a distinctive voice despite the fact there was a third person, but I did feel each of them very well. I think characterization was done very well, and I loved the descriptions of the world. I love that it was set in winter, in like a very cold place, because I really felt that -20, snow everywhere, but it's sunny and beautiful and you love it. I really felt that atmosphere. So I would say the atmosphere was very good. Writing itself was really, really competent. I didn't have any complaints and I was really engaged and immersed in the world, and I just felt like, why is it not snowing here? This is a perfect story. I am actually going home to Poland in like 2 days, so maybe I should have held off, but I wanted to get this review ready for you guys. But yeah, it was beautiful, rich atmosphere. I loved how it was written. Really good job. I found out that the author actually also has another book, so maybe I'll check it out. I think it's also a standalone and queer book, so it's not as like inspired by Poland, I don't think. So I'm still curious though. But yeah, the writing was really good. I'll definitely be following this author whatever she goes next. Now let's go with plot. So again, no complaints. I really like how it was done. I really love the pacing of it. So we start off with the girls with Marinka being our main character pretty much, and them being young, a little bit of the rivalry. So we also hear about Zosia from Marinka's perspective, but she's never even met her. So we just see her as this rival, as this obstacle, but you can see this obsession growing, and then the girls meet, but they don't know who each other are. So I love that we got that bonding before all of the rivalry, because I was a bit concerned when I realized that they didn't know each other when they were kids. So I was like, how are you gonna sell this romance to me if they're like rivals from the start? When will they have time to bond? But I think that was a very smart decision to make the girls meet each other without realizing who each other are. Although I did think that was a bit strange. Like, they're color-coded clothing. They have color-coded clothing, and this girl dressed all in red and this girl hanging out all in white didn't ring any bells. Okay, but that's like a minor complaint. Overall, I did like how it was executed. And even the rest of the book, the pace was really good because we had these calmer moments when the characters could bond, interact, we could experience the world. There were so many rich moments of like experiencing the culture, experiencing the city. And then you had high stakes chase scenes and fight scenes. And it was very exciting. And I like that it was, the whole story was them trying to pursue the prince. And it was just like bits of that interspersed with some more personal stuff. So I really enjoyed that. I thought the plot was really cool. I really liked the ending. I thought it was very fitting, and I liked how it all played out overall. I don't know if usually the villain stories play as well as this one, because I felt like the ending was good, the characters stayed true to themselves and how they were raised, and overall it was a really good time. Let's talk about characters. I really enjoyed the main characters. So we have Zosia, Marinka, and I would say Beata, but she never gets her own POV. So there's only two POV characters, Zosia and Marinka. Like I said, we start with Marinka, so I always will think about her as a bit more of a main character, just because we get her perspective first. But I really liked her. She made so much sense, the way she was brought up, the way she interacted with her grandmother, how that worked, how she had this really unhealthy obsession with midnight, how it all kind of played together. So I really enjoyed that, and I think she was a very strong character, true to herself throughout, but her growth made sense. It all made sense. Same for Zosia. I really enjoyed her. She's more of a loner. I grew up with no one to talk to, so you really can see this all at the world, but also very independent and trying to make something of her own. Really enjoyed that. The characters were very good. I am now circling back into maybe plot or maybe a little bit of writing, I don't know. So there was this like destiny theme that was like kind of dropped there, but like not done anything with, I don't think. So maybe the book should have been a little longer. Like there was a little bit of lore. So we're just accepting that there are these three witches who live in the woods. I guess they're immortal. I thought I understood, and then it was like, oh, but this is like a destiny and like things repeating itself. And I was like, huh? This was not, and then we kind of drop it there. So that would be my one complaint. Like there was like maybe a little bit lack of explaining the world and the lore and the background of the magic, because that was really not that explained. And now I'm thinking like magic, it was soft magic really, because like I felt like there was a little bit inconsistency with the world building and the powers of the girls. So sometimes they could turn into mist, sometimes they could fly, but then they would get like arrested because they couldn't run away. I don't understand. Just change into mist or like change into an animal, because they could do that too. And like they just didn't explain when they could do certain things and when they couldn't. At least that's how I got it. Sometimes there was an explanation, because there's also a different type of magic, which is holy magic. So that's from like praying and God and stuff. But like sometimes there were some inconsistencies, and it was like convenient that sometimes you can fly, but sometimes you can't. Like choose a lane. The reason why I can excuse and forgive is because this is like maybe primary little rival story. It's just like the magic's not the point, the world building I guess it's not the point, because it's not a big fantasy series sprawling books and books. It's more of a short, quiet story. Not quite, no. It's more of a like snapshot of this world and these characters. It could have been done better, but I can forgive it, and I still enjoyed the book. It didn't hinder my enjoyment. Just now talking to you, I'm kind of realizing that could have done with a bit more world building. As for themes, I would say, well, family is definitely a big one, but family in a sense that the girls were kind of like rescued by these witches, but the witches are not kind at all, and it's kind of getting out of this abusive situation, coming to terms with it, and kind of like where your loyalties lie, and would you rather just like please people, or would you stand up for yourself? And it's also a lot about rivalry, and like being better and proving something to yourself, and how this competition with other people can give you strength. It had interesting themes. I really enjoyed that there was possibility of a love triangle, but I think the way it was done, it was not bad. I actually really identified with the character, because it felt like the third wheel, or the third spoke of this possible love triangle. Yeah, it was just more of a loneliness and ability, like somewhere to belong, and resignation to not belonging, and I really like how that was executed and how that was talked about in the end. So A+ on themes. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the world overall. I liked that there was a sapphic couple, but there was also kind of like a gay romance, and I like how it was like so much pining, and there wasn't really talk about homophobia or this not being normal and not accepted. So I enjoyed that. I think it was fun to just have a world where girls like girls, boys like boys, and it's still messy. There's still drama. It's just a different type of drama. And I like how the characters were very sure of their own sexuality. Overall, I really liked that. I think it was a really cool execution on the concept. Overall, I did really enjoy Midnight Girls. I gave it 5 stars. I do think this is a very good rivals to lovers, like prime, pining, and heartbreak, and really good romance, which is this primarily, I guess, is. But it's also a decent fantasy world. Like I said, maybe the world of Varshov and the like Midnight Forest and the coldness and like the Polish influences, I maybe enjoyed that slightly more than the magical side of things, because the magical side of things was slightly underdeveloped. But it still doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it, because I did, and I did think it was really well done. I will definitely follow the author, seeing what she does next. I really hope this book performs well when it actually does come out. It does seem to have a lot of really positive reviews, especially from LGBTQ+ reviewers. So if you want to grab yourself a copy, do so. I don't think the book is out yet. It said the 16th, I think, or the 6th on NetGalley, but then when I checked on Amazon, it was like the 31st or 23rd, something like that. So check it out when it does come out. Support an LGBTQ+ Polish author. Let me know if you did end up reading the book, either had an arc or you watching this video a bit later. Let me know what you thought. I'm very interested. I really hope this book does well, and I want more. I want more Polish authors writing books that are fantasy and queer. I love it. So that's it for my review. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Oh, I just realized this is the last review of the year.